Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video, I call it Fake It Till You Make It. I really didn't know where I was going when I started, but I absolutely love where I ended up. So I'm working from the prompts from the Index Card a Day Challenge, and this one comes from week 4, Asanoa pattern. And I'm not gonna lie, had to look it up. It is a traditional pattern of Japan. The pattern represents hemp leaves, sometimes called the Japanese star, conveys strength and beauty. I went to supercoloring.com and printed off the pattern. So here is the pattern. I just glued the copy paper down onto my card, and that's where it sat for a couple weeks. So today, as I bring it out, I'm going to add color, and I'm going to add alizarin crimson and brilliant purple. Both of these are Liquitex Basics colors, and I've discovered by using this on the gel plate that these colors really make me happy. I like how they blend together. I like how they look together, which is a bit of a surprise. So I'm just going to put a bit of those on, and then I'm just putting it on wet with a makeup sponge. Now you'll see the alizarin crimson especially is very translucent. You can see through it. So I'm still seeing the pattern here. I did put a little bit of gesso, white gesso on my palette. I never used it. That would make the paints more opaque and it would block off that pattern. But I wanted that pattern to shine through. I didn't know how much it was going to feature in the overall plan here, but I did want some of it peeking through. If nothing else, the pattern has sent me forward. It gave me a starting point. So I'm building up the layers of color, blending some of it, adding a little bit more once it dries, just to build up kind of an all-over pattern. So now we have the color layer and we have the pattern layer from the Asanoa pattern paper. Now you can print that out on copy paper like I did, or you can put it on tissue paper and use it as collage papers on other projects, and I think that would be lovely. So then I grabbed my Posca pen and I thought I want to add a little bit of contrast, so I'm just dotting the center of the stars. Like I said, I didn't know where I was going, and I'm just saying one step at a time. Oh, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. I do not have it figured out. I have no idea what focal point I'm going to use or anything. I'm just enjoying the process. Now I like the addition of white here, the contrast. And I'm going to edge it with black, because I know typically that's what I do, and well, that's what I do in the middle of the page when I don't know what the next step is, but I know I'm going to frame it anyway, so I'm thinking about what next, what can I do, what will look good. And I think, okay, I'm going to bring out some of this star pattern, but not all of them. So I grab my black Posca pen and I'm just following the lines, and I'm going to isolate a few of these stars. I really like this star pattern in of itself. So I'm just going to bring out a few of them across the page. So you have some that are more forward and some that are further back, but you can see all of them. So this is very much step by step. It's like, okay, now what? Oh, I'm going to do this. So some of it was like, if I was to do it from the beginning, knowing where I'm ending up, I may do them in a different order. But I'm just responding to what I see and coming up with the next step when I get there. No pre-decisions on this one. I mean, even this, it's like, how many of these do I want to do? Okay, well, I've got 3, maybe 5, maybe some partial ones. So I don't want you to think that you have to have it all figured out. I know people ask you, well, you must have an idea of where you're going. Not always. And quite often when I don't know where I'm going, I end up in a place that I love because I'm open to other possibilities. My mind is more open and maybe I'm more creative. I'm just adding a little bit more of the white back that I've lost and making sure that it's all completely dry. I'm liking how I brought out that pattern, and I want to bring out that star a little bit more. So I'm grabbed my angle brush with black acrylic paint and I'm shading around it. You can see the difference that makes. It just really makes those elements pop. And I thought, okay, I'm liking that. Now when you start, you don't have this toolbox of techniques and ideas to bring to it. So it's important to kind of get those ideas, maybe from videos like this. But once you build up those skills and those techniques, when you're in a page, you have all those tricks to pull from. And really, it's paper and paint. I'm not making fine art here. There's not a lot of money involved or anything. So here, I'm just adding, and I'm really liking this. Still no idea what focal image is going to go on here, if any, or if I just put a sentiment, which would be fine. I'm loving the colors. I'm loving the pattern. I'm liking everything that I've done. It's just not done yet. So I decide I'm going to grab, I want to do some stamping with white, and I grab one of my favorite stamps from the Sacred Geometry stamp set that's from Stamperia. Now I chose this stamp, you'll see it in a minute, because it reminded me of the Asanoa patterning. I think it's a form of it, but it's making for round, and you can see the middle of it, it kind of resembled that initial pattern. This is pushing back some of the stars, and just adding some brightness with the white. You're adding a little more contrast. And as I'm adding this, I'm thinking, oh, I love this now too. So I'm putting some off the page. That one got a little messy, but because everything's permanent underneath, I can erase it. So I'm liking that, but now it's very much, this is a background. I'm loving the look. I'm very happy with it, but now I know I need to go and find a focal image. But before that, thank you if you are a subscriber. If you're not, please hit the subscribe button, click on the bell, and select the option to be notified of upcoming videos. So focal images, we have a good basic background. We could put a black and white butterfly like that, would look beautiful on it. This starfish also goes on it. I might leave it black and white as well. It kind of goes with what's in the background. If I put this girl, I like the red on there, but I'm thinking that the scale is a little too large. But it would definitely go. I have this other girl that she's wearing, it's navy, and I really like the look. It kind of, the background looks a little cosmos to me, and I could put a nice sentiment there. That's a definite possibility. I could put a flower, and again, this has like 5-6 petals, so it kind of mirrors the pattern. This girl, I could put it on there, and that really ties in with the cosmos feel as well. Put a sentiment. No, wouldn't add flower. Or I could put a face on it, and then a sentiment as well. So there are lots of options when you have a good, solid background. So pick the one you like the most. As I was flipping, because I like the red on there, I flipped through my other ones and I found this flamenco girl dancing, and I really like it going up and down like this. It just, everything worked together. It was like, I loved it upon first sight, so I picked the one I loved the most. If you liked one of the other ones, then you go with that. As I said, this is a good basic background, and you just addition the various things on it and pick the one you like. I want to make sure I have room to put my sentiment here. And I found this sentiment. It's from my Embrace Possibility sentiment pack. You can get those at NINNYSNAPKINS.com. I bubble cut it, and now I'm just separating it so it fits where I need it to go. I like the dark darkness of the bolder font, and the white around it goes with my page, because basically two colors, alizarin crimson, brilliant purple, black and white contrast. I'm gluing this down with matte gel medium, putting a layer underneath and on top. And now we are at the finishing stage. I'm just going to use my angle brush and do some shading, edging around the outside edge. And then I'm going to shade on my focal image. And this is just going to make it so that it stands out just that little bit more. It makes it look like everything works together, that it's on the page, as opposed to something that's just glued down. So save magazine pictures. You just never know when it's the perfect one. So you know what? When you're doing a page, fake it till you make it. Sometimes you don't need to have all the answers. Just keep moving forward, make decisions as you go. And more times than not, you're going to end up in a great place. And if you don't end up with something that you love at the end, I'm sure that you've learned a few things along the way. It really is about the process and the enjoyment. I love this page, and I hope you do too. I'm going to give it a little bit of splatter with gold because, well, it's me. You can still see that Asanoa pattern in the background, but it isn't the focal point. It pointed the direction, sent me on my way, and I'm glad to have taken this journey because I ended up in a beautiful place. Until next time, go get creative.